first forecast brought to you by Store It at Home, rent-to-own portable buildings. Out there today, another very nice day. 83 degrees warmer than yesterday. 49 is where we got down to our low, below average. And we're warming up. We got more on the way as far as humid conditions go. And of course, the next couple of days should be fairly nice. We do have our next rainmaker already in sight as we go into the weekend, and potentially we could be talking about severe weather. But overnight tonight, much warmer than last night, not getting down to the 40s. That's thanks to that south wind and return flow off of the Gulf of Mexico. Of course, we'll be talking about that rainmaker and, well, warmer temperatures over the next couple of days. Coming up in just a few minutes. Right now, your ABC 31 News starts.
Welcome to ABC 31 News Tonight. I'm Scott Beadle. More political subdivisions are considering an effort to save the downtown post office, or at least to delay its closure at the end of next month. The latest in our top story this evening. This morning, the Great Alexandria Economic Authority, known as GATA, considered a request to the U.S. Postal Service that something be done. However, they didn't have a quorum and must vote on that at a later time. The issue is on the agenda for tonight's Alexandria City Council meeting, and the Area Convention and Visitors Bureau is expected to approve the request tomorrow. Meanwhile, advocates for the post office say U.S. Senator Bill Cassidy and Area Congressman Ralph Abraham are on their side as well. A special meeting of Rapids police jurors tomorrow will address the current fight with the district attorney's office. The issue is over money, which police jurors need. They believe the DA's office pretrial intervention program is depriving them of funds. Both sides are threatening lawsuits. This special meeting tomorrow indicates they'll go into a closed session to discuss the matter, but by law, any action they take must be done in a public session. Grand Parish deputies report a number of arrests from domestic abuse to drugs. A Dry Prom man is accused of domestic abuse by battery, assault, and strangulation, as well as intimidation. He is 35-year-old Daniel Dwayne Akins, who reportedly put a gun to the victim's head. 37-year-old Brody Johnson of Alexandria was taken into custody for burglary and theft after a call from a homeowner in Dry Prom. A traffic stop results in the arrests of 40-year-old Terry Bilbo of Dry Prom and 41-year-old Thema Garbrecht of Pollock, both on drug charges. 37-year-old Dustin Lazione of Ball was arrested on drug charges after a report of a parking lot disturbance near a business. And 55-year-old Jennifer LeBlue of Colfax was arrested on drug charges after an investigation into illegal activities at a home. Also, Rapids deputies arrested two men after a complaint about a utility trailer with a lawnmower on it stolen from Vernon Parish. The caller told deputies he was following the suspects on Highway 28 West near Gardner. Deputies arrested 38-year-old Sean Ed Sean Sudds of Mansville and 36-year-old Christopher James Fitch of Oakdale. Both are charged with possession of stolen items, a stolen firearm, a gun with an obliterated serial number, and drug possession. A DeVille man pleads guilty to a gun crime. 32-year-old Jonathan Hayes admitted he had an unregistered firearm. He was arrested by game wardens and now faces up to 10 years in prison, plus a fine. The Board for Crime Stoppers of Cenla today honors APD Deputy Chief Cedric Green as Law Enforcement Officer of the Year. Crime Stoppers seek to curtail problems by offering rewards for tips that lead to arrests and convictions. Green was the board's unanimous pick for the honor this year. He has been in law enforcement for 27 years. The spokesman for Crime Stoppers says the record for the last year tracks the year before, with 169 tips, 14 arrests, mostly for drugs, and more than $7,000 paid out in rewards. Tipsters don't have to give their names, but they can earn hundreds of dollars for helping law enforcement. This afternoon, we caught up with University of Louisiana System President Jim Henderson at Rotary. He shared his thoughts on the current legislative session.
we entered this legislative session with a $26 million cut to higher education, to colleges and universities, and a $230 million cut to TOPS. So all state general fund for TOPS was taken out of the budget. And yesterday, a committee actually put that money back in with some of the new resources recognized by the Revenue Estimating Conference. Unfortunately, I don't believe that move is going to stick. And so we're going to be continuing to work with our legislators to find a way to ensure that we fulfill the TOPS promise. It's absolutely vital we fulfill that promise. We ensure that colleges and universities are held stable in funding.
And Henderson adds he hopes lawmakers will fulfill the TOPS promise. Cleco and Kona Ice came together today to have a chill day. They celebrated National Tax Day by giving out free snow cones to the Cleco staff. By the way, if you have not filed your taxes yet, you have until midnight to do so. Last night, Louisiana College held their Hope Amid the Horror program to remember the Holocaust. The house was filled as students, staff, and residents recalled the dark events of World War II when Americans came face to face with the Nazi regime. Rabbi Arnie Task read from the writings of survivors as well as historical commentary. A cardboard recycling event is happening this Friday at Keys Park in observance of Earth Day. That is on April 22nd.
As a prelude to Earth Day is a cardboard recycling event together with the Pineville Rotary and Hometown Waste, who I work for, is working with the Pineville Rotary to collect cardboard. So this cardboard will then be sold, and all of the proceeds over the next week will go for the benefit of the projects that Pineville Rotary is involved in. Any day this week and all day Friday, right here at Keys Park in Pineville.
The main cardboard recycling event will take place on Friday, but donations can be dropped off all week at the recycling bin at Keys Park. Donations can also be dropped off at Hometown Waste. 6 historic tall sailing ships are headed for New Orleans for the city's tricentennial celebration. Pilots with the Crescent River Pilots Association will guide 4 of the boats to Waldenburg Park in downtown New Orleans and 2 to Lake Pontchartrain for public viewing. 4 of the tall ships are recreating the exact journey of the sailing ships, guided by New Orleans founder Jean-Baptiste Lemoyne de Bienville exactly 300 years ago this spring. The tall ships will be on display in New Orleans from April 19th through the 22nd. Louisiana corn farmers are finally getting to plant some significant acres as drier conditions have finally arrived. But is it too late for some? LSU Ag Center correspondent Craig Gautreaux, has the story.
Farmers across Louisiana have begun their spring ritual of returning to the fields and planting their corn crops. But this year is much different from last year. A colder and wetter spring has delayed planting, and some producers are considering alternative crops.
We're getting on the late side here, especially down here on the bottom part of the state. We'll probably start to see more acres shift to soybeans, and making some projections this year, we may be around 400,000 acres this year.
This reduction in Louisiana corn acres would be 10 to 20% less than in 2017. Favorable weather conditions last year meant most corn was planted in February and March.
Last year we just had ideal conditions in March, which is our optimum, planting time to plant corn in Louisiana. We were probably at this time last year, maybe 60 or 70% completed.
Planting behind schedule means corn matures later in the summer when higher temperatures can lower yields. Jason Gauthier, a farmer in Avoyelles Parish, was planting corn for the first time this year and knows the risk of a late planted crop.
I think if we get a real hot and dry summer, as a possibility, we'll lose some yield. The pollination, it might affect the pollination, but nobody knows. We'll have to wait and see.
After completing his corn planting, Gauthier will turn his attention to planting sorghum and rice. With the LSU Ag Center, this is Craig Gautreaux reporting.
Farmers in North Louisiana still have time to plant their corn crops, as the optimum time for planting corn there runs through the first week of April.
Only one doctor brings health right to your home.
Every day is a new chance for change, and everyone can start right now.
Make an appointment with Dr. Oz. Check in for your daily checkup.
Well, plenty of nice weather out there the last couple of days. A little cooler than average yesterday and a little bit warmer than average today. Well, the warmer trend going to continue over the next couple of days, but still pleasant out there. We will have slightly higher humidity for the day tomorrow as our dew points start to climb up over the next couple of days, but still going to be very, very dry and very, very nice overall. That continues for our Thursday and, yes, even into Friday. So our entire work week, dry and mainly sunny and basically pleasant as you walk out the door. We will have a weak cold front going through out there for the day tomorrow. Basically notice on the very northern tip of this map showing that. But return flow around that high pressure system now off the east coast. That means temperatures or wind directions out of the west-southwest, and that will be bringing us more humidity off the Gulf of Mexico as well as some warmer temperatures. We got to 83 today. We're going to get to 81 tomorrow. Notice that south-southwest wind through the 7 a.m. only going to get down to 60 tonight. That's not nearly as cold as the last two nights. Of course, we tied a record low for our Monday morning, and then last night we got down to 48-ish degrees. So that means we're going to be around 20 degrees warmer for overnight tonight. But looking ahead, you notice that there is rain back into the forecast. As we go into Friday, kind of an odd system here. It's going to be moving down to the south and east. Not a typical pattern that we see for this time of year. But you notice the rain, and could be heavy rain. Talking about maybe even potentially severe weather off to the south part of this track. Of course, that puts that area of low pressure basically over the top of us Saturday night going into Sunday. That could be very heavy rain, and it's definitely going to be colder temperatures. Out there tonight, 60 degrees, definitely warmer. It might even be warmer than average depending on location. Partly cloudy skies. The winds out of the south, that's the southwest. And for the day tomorrow, another pleasant day, but warm, 81 degrees. Plenty of sunshine, a couple of clouds around for the afternoon hours in that extended forecast. Dropping back down to 74 with that cold front going through tomorrow. Dry cold front, but cold front nonetheless. 74 for Thursday, 68 on Friday, then back into the 70s, watching heavy rain potentially Saturday night going into Sunday. And then we stay close to normal as we go into next week. Of course, that's a look at your weather forecast and your 7-day. Scott?
Thank you, Ross. Now, another reason you can enjoy a hot cup of coffee. Tonight, news that some caffeine is good for your heart. With more, here's Arlette Signs.
As we sip our morning coffee, doctors worry about how caffeine affects the electrical system of your heart. We know that the caffeine in coffee, tea, and energy drinks makes your heart beat faster. But does it trigger your heart into a life-threatening rhythm? New research says drink on. Most of the data supports the idea that caffeine is not harmful to your heart's electrical system. In a few studies, they find that regular coffee drinkers actually have a decreased risk of certain abnormal rhythms. If coffee or tea is your drink of choice, you're in luck and in good company. If it's an energy drink, not so much. While coffee and tea have been proven to be fairly safe, the research suggests that most energy drinks are slightly more risky. On top of high amounts of caffeine, they often have other ingredients that amplify the body's response to the stimulant, causing more harmful side effects. This study recommends a maximum of about 3 cups of coffee. It's very important to note that caffeine can still trigger certain abnormal rhythms in some people. That's why you should consult with your doctor before making any changes.
Coming up in sports, NSU Demons head coach Brad Laird talks about the events centered around this weekend's spring game.
Waking up early is hard.
That is so true.
But MeTV makes it easy.
Yeah.
With Wake Up With Me.
Well, this is the best thing that ever happened to me.
These classic comedies coax you out of bed.
Rise and shine.
And put you in a good mood to start your day.
Bright-eyed and bushy-tailed.
There's going to be a lot of excitement going on around here.
Set your alarm to Wake Up With Me.
Hey, yeah!
Watch your favorite classic shows in one place. Watch MeTV Alexandria.
Klax ABC31 Sports, I'm Zach Seminar. The 29th annual Joe Delaney Bowl Spring Game is set for this weekend. With that comes a weekend full of activities designed to honor Joe Delaney through engagement of former players and supporters. Along with the game will include a dinner, a silent auction, and Coach Laird spoke about what the day will mean for remembering the former Demon legend.
Get an opportunity to honor Joe with what he's done as a student athlete here and what he did as he moved on with the Kansas City Chiefs. You know, we will have some video up of Joe. It'll be an in-depth interview with those young men that really know Joe and know the type of person that he was. Not a football player, we all know, but more importantly, the type of person that he was and we want our student athletes to be.
Can't wait till Saturday. After leading LSUA to the NAIA national title game, head coach Larry Cordero has been named the Louisiana Small College Coach of the Year by the Louisiana Association of Basketball Coaches. Cordero became the quickest coach to reach 100 wins in the NAIA. He's totaled 115 of them against just 17 losses in his 4 seasons as the lead man of the Generals.
Well, thanks for watching ABC 31 News. Have a great night.
Get It Growing with Dan Gill, Thursdays on ABC 31 News. Brought to you by Bayou Robert Co-op, serving farmers and ranchers since 1961. Come run the plantation April 21st and support the Food Bank's Good Food Project. The Inglewood Classic 5K is bringing people together for the health of our community. It's time again for the celebration of life, unity, and community. Join us April 21st for the Sinlaw Holy Fest and Color Walk for Kids. Starts at 11 in downtown Alexandria. And you don't want to miss the Sinlaw Cruising Car Show and Music Festival, April 21st. View the hottest cars and enjoy live music for a good cause. The Hope House of Central Louisiana is hosting their first golf tournament at Oak Wing Golf Course Saturday, April 21st. Show your support. Register today and tee off for hope. For more community events, visit us on Facebook or at KLAXTV.com.